Today we're here with Stephen Yu, Yami's Chief Financial Officer. Prior to joining Yami, he worked as a Chief Strategy Officer for JP Morgan in New York, Hong Kong, and Korea, as well as the head of corporate finance for Coupang, Korea's largest e-commerce platform. He will introduce why he decided to join Yami, the growth he sees in Yami as a company, as well as talk about the untapped potential of the booming Asian market here in the United States.
So I'm Stephen. I'm the CFO here at Yami. I joined about a year and a half ago. It's really great to be with you today. So in my free time, I'm relatively new to the LA area. So I like to explore Orange County, spend time with my family, go whale watching, go hiking, things like that, just exploring the area.
Could you tell us more about your experience at your previous job? What roles did you hold and what were some key achievements or lessons learned?
Spent most of my career in finance and banking. So I was, for a long time I worked at JP Morgan in New York, Hong Kong, Korea. And after that I worked at a company called Coupang, which is the biggest e-commerce company in Korea. And so I worked there for about 5 years. So I was head of corporate finance at Coupang. So saw incredible growth at the company. Went through the IPO process there.
Okay.
And then I joined Yami.
Nice. What was your first impression of Yami and what motivated you to want to work here?
So I think it's a great opportunity. I think we're still a fast-growing company. There's a huge market opportunity for a company like us. I think when I do my calculations, probably around a $70 billion potential market for us to tap into, and we're still very, very early into that market. So that's number one. Number two, I think joining after my previous experiences, I think this was a really good fit for me. Just leveraging off of the banking background I had, the e-commerce, the IPO experience, and then being able to bring that all together into the U.S. where I grew up, coming back to the U.S. from Asia. So it's just a great fit for me.
How are some of your successes you can apply from JP Morgan Korea and Coupang to Yami?
All successful businesses have similar cultures. So I think JP Morgan and Coupang, some things I think we can bring to Yami is, definitely aim high for results, deliver results with grit. I think that's very important. Being able to dive deep, think systematically. I think those are some of the, at least lessons I've learned in the past that I think we can, execute at Yami.
As Yami's Chief Financial Officer and as a Korean employee, are there any goals you wish Yami to achieve?
So I think we want Yami to be known as the #1 Asian e-commerce company. So that applies across all Asian cultures. So I think that's something we want to do going forward. Extend our Korean and Japanese products. So we already have over 5,000 Korean items we have on sale on the site. We have over 10,000 Japanese items. So I think we want to continue to grow that product offering going forward.
What makes Yami stand out from other retail stores?
So our selection. I think that's our key strength of Yami. The fact that we have about half of our sales goes to food items, half of it goes to non-food items, specifically beauty, household, electronics, baby clothes. So I think the diverse selection that we carry over 30,000 items for customers to buy. So I think our selection is something that is our key competitive advantage in the market.
How has Yami contributed to the accessibility of Asian products in the United States, particularly for Asian Americans living outside of major cities?
Yeah. So I think the origin story of Yami is interesting. Alex, our founder, he was a college student at Kansas. So he couldn't find any products to buy in Kansas. So that's why basically motivated him to start a company in like Yami. So that was 11 years ago. And so I think what Yami offers is we deliver to all 50 states in the US. We have East Coast, West Coast fulfillment centers, 2 mega fulfillment centers. So we deliver in less than 3 days. Some areas we offer same-day delivery. So I think the convenience of getting any Asian product that you want through Yami is what we offer.
Can you describe how Yami's growth reflects the changing demographic and needs of Asian American consumers in the United States?
I think people underestimate the power of the Asian Americans in the US. There's 17 million Asian Americans in the US. They have, if you look at the latest statistics, about 1.2 trillion buying power, which is basically the GDP of Korea in total. And they're growing 7 times faster. That buying power is growing 7 times faster than the average in the US. So there's a huge growth potential of Asian Americans, huge demographic change, and I think Yami is well positioned to take advantage of that.
How has the rise of Asian pop culture like K-pop, K-drama, and anime in the United States affected Yami's strategy in attracting non-Asian customers?
Yeah, I think non-Asian customers is a huge part of our strategy. I think that's a huge growth area. I was just in New York, and if you walk around New York, Koreatown, 20 years ago it was all Koreans. But now you walk around, it's all non-Asians waiting in line to get into these Korean restaurants. So I think that's kind of one, demonstrates the power of the Asian culture infiltrating U.S. And so, I think I've read some statistics. Maybe I think there's potentially 100 million non-Asian customers in the U.S. That want to buy Asian products. So I think that's a huge pool of customers that Yami can tap going forward.
How has Yami's presence in college towns influenced the experience of Asian students studying far from home?
So just from my experience as a college student a long time ago, I think you always miss parts of home when you're in college. So you always want to, kind of be closer. I remember when I was in college, there was this new Korean restaurant that opened across the street. So all the Korean students would go there, just to kind of have a taste of home. So I think that's what Yami offers to all college students in the U.S. The people that miss home, that want to kind of get the Chinese or Japanese or Korean kind of snacks or things that they miss. It's kind of at their fingertips with Yami.
In what ways has Yami adapted its marketing strategies to appeal to both Asian Americans and non-Asian American customers?
Again, I think we want to be the #1 Asian e-commerce company in the U.S. So what makes us the #1 is, I think, our ability to curate Asian goods. I think we have this expertise and the supply chain across the world, in China, Japan, Korea, and in Southeast Asia, that we're able to curate the best goods and bring that into the U.S. So I think that's #1. #2, I think it's, people want to be able to discover, especially non-Asians, they want to discover what are the, best Asian goods, what are the popular things, what are the trending items. So I think they can go into Yami and find that. And third, again, is selection. I think we have the best selection of Asian products, of unique Asian products and brands in the U.S. So I think that's what differentiates us.
What are the biggest challenges the company is facing right now, and how do you plan to address these obstacles to ensure continued growth and success?
So I think we are in a very highly competitive market. I think the strength of Yami has been we have a very loyal customer base that's been with us for 11 years since our founding. I think the challenge is then how do we grow that customer base into more non-Asians and help people really discover really great Asian products. So I think the key strategy for us is going to continue to be selection. So for example, we have over 5,000 Korean items, SKUs on Yami right now. We want to, in a few years, we want to grow that to multiples of 5,000. So any Korean item that a customer wants to find, they could come to Yami and they'll know they'll find it only on Yami. So I think selection, and not just Korean, obviously Japanese, Chinese, other Asian items as well. I think just growing our selection by multiples and multiples over the next few years, that's the key.
How can Yami bring Korean products to a larger Korean audience, like wide selection, great service, and good pricing?
So I think all three. I think that's the flywheel: selection, convenience, pricing. So I think what's most important for us is really to understand our customer, listen to what they say. I think having constant dialogue with our best customers, understand kind of the pain points they face in the current market, what items they want to see. And I think being very customer focused and customer centric, I think that's the way forward for us.
What do you think is Yami's role in shaping the future of Asian-owned businesses in the United States?
So I think Yami was one of the first companies to do Asian e-commerce in the US. So we started this company 11 years ago. Not many companies were out there doing what we were doing. So we were a pioneer in this space. Towards the future, I think we'll continue to be a leader. I think people continue to underestimate the buying power of Asian Americans in the US. So I think we'll continue to grow with that demographic going forward, and just create a better company, grow with our customers. I think one thing interesting is our first customers were college students. That was 11 years ago. Now our customers graduate from college, and now they're moms and dads and parents. So I think Yami needs to continue to grow along with our customers as they build families, and I think that's kind of the future of Yami.
What is your favorite Yami product?
So living in LA, where it's sunny every day, so definitely sunscreen. I think Yami has a lot of Korean beauty products. So one brand I really like is Doctor. It's very unique. I probably Yami maybe the only company selling it in the US. So it's natural. A lot of Korean celebrities use it, and so it's kind of a very niche product you only find in Korea that Yami sells in the US.
What is your favorite thing about working at Yami?
The young energy of the company. Yami is growing very fast. Things change very fast. One really good thing about working with a lot of young people is you can effect change really fast. In a matter of a few days. If we find something wrong, we can fix it in a few days. So we're still we're not a startup. We're a growing early stage growing company where you can really make an impact and move fast. I think that's probably the favorite thing.